Director. Today's show is brought to you by Legal Shield, of course, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand, plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305, or visit them online at nocourt.us.
Yes! Of course, my first word of the day is always, yes! Yes!
And then later in the show, it's, no! It doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to start the show a little unusual today. We're going to start out with professional basketball, the NBA. Sal, in his break between the two... Wait a second, we got something going on here. Fix that. And Sal's break between the two game? Shows. No, I had the NBA box score up that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The Washington Wizards beat the Sixers 123-106. Not even close. The fourth quarter was 31-31. So they were up by 17 going into the fourth quarter. And again, what I was saying yesterday, why is this Wizards team playing so well without one of their best players? This happens in basketball. Give me your theory on that.
Look, and think about this. When we talked about it yesterday, when you're, oh, by the way, I'm Sal the Bookmaker, just in case Tommy T didn't really introduce me. So I'm
just assuming that we're famous and we're stars, and it's not. We're not there yet.
Once we get past the parking lot, we're in trouble.
We're not there yet. No,
right.
This is 40. Is it 41-4 or 42-4?
We are 42-4.
42-4. Sal the Bookmaker,
right? The
best handicapper in the country right now, and I'm very confident in that statement.
That's a big statement. I didn't make the statement because you know what? I don't know nothing.
Yes! But our numbers don't lie.
No, they don't lie.
It's not just making it up. We're not just pulling it out of thin air. If you go back from starting November 5th of last year, you'll see that our 50-plus shows it's there in the podcasts where Sal is handicapped over 50 games, and he's close to 50 games. He's 42-4.
Right. There are some games that I talked about I didn't pick either way, just because, look, you can't pick every game. You got to pick your games and say, all right, this is the one I'm going to go with. Like last weekend, it was Indianapolis over the Texans. That was the game that I went with. I had 4 picks on that game, and they all won.
Well, this is what you do. So now, and you've also picked a couple basketball winners too, which is crazy to me. Last week you had the Purdue-Iowa game. College game. Purdue was favored by 9 points at home with 6 losses.
The unranked Purdue Boilermakers.
They were 9-6 at the time, and they were favored against the 25th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes by 9 points.
Right, and they still won by 16, 17 points.
The line caught your eye.
Yeah, it was so unusual.
Other things.
How often, folks? How many times do you see a ranked team go into an unranked building and they are almost a double-digit dog?
Well, I'll tell you something. Other things catch Sal's eye. When we're not here, other things catch his eye. He's normal Italian from the Midwest. But in here, the line is what catches his eye. The number is what catches your eye, right?
That's it.
Explain the number. The 9 caught your eye. There's other 9s out there that get you, but the 9 on that caught your eye.
Sometimes, everybody can relate to this. To all the bettors out there and all the people that just watch the line, they don't bet, and they just figure, well, you know what, I'm just going to make a mind bet. Right? And so they're just kind of betting themselves. And they say, all right, why is the line X?
Explain to me a mind bet.
Well, you're thinking about it, but you're not putting it out there. And so you have kind of a bet within your brain. You're saying, all right, I think this team's going to win, and they're going to win by maybe 11 or 12 points. And the line is 9.5, whatever. So there's your mind bet. They're not putting any money out there. But the idea is a lot of those people that are watching these, they look at the lines and are like, how in the world is a ranked team a dog by 9.5? I don't care where you're playing in America, unless you're playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium. How are you ranked in a dog by nearly double digits? Now, doesn't that strike you funny? It strikes me funny.
After you pointed it out to me, it like was a flashing red light. The difference is I don't see that. I see the line. It strikes me a little funny, but you see a flashing red light saying something's up with
right,
this.
Because I go back and research the money and say, all right, why is it 9.5? Where did it open? Where is it 9.5? More importantly, is it a strip hotel or is it off-strip hotel? That means a lot. Is it a betting online situation? Because there's plenty of those.
Wait, you're tracking the money in that specifically?
Yeah. That's how you have to do it. I mean, that's why I'm picking the winners I am, apparently. But I look at everything from strip to on strip or to off strip. Think about this. When you're looking at the strip hotels, what are you getting? You're getting a mix of tourism money, and you're getting the casual bettors. It's like going to the racetrack. And when you go to the racetrack on the weekend, what are you supposed to do? Not bet. Because there's too many casual bettors that go, or casual racetrack goers that will go to the track on the weekend. And what will they do? Oh, I like that horse. It's wearing blue. It's got blue checkered.
It's the same name as
jersey.
my cat.
Exactly. That kind of garbage, right?
Okay.
So they screw up the tote board, right? So if you want a real bet, you're going to have to do it during the week, maybe your second, third, fourth races. Basically, when all the action's already gone, everybody's already lost in the daily double.
That's what the strip is, and the no strip.
That's really what the strip equals, in my opinion. Because when you're in the sports book at the strip, and you're a casino boss yourself, and you know as well as I do, that comes on to the strip hotel is a lot different than the local hotels.
It definitely, yeah. I mean, there's bigger money. The line moves quicker, right? And I mean, but if someone that's really going to really work the line, he's going to spread the money around. He's going to get guys to take the money and walk it around town and not put 100,000 in one place.
Right, because they're going to move the line on themselves.
Yeah.
But talk about the table players, though. I mean, this is place your bet for everything, not just for sports games.
Yeah.
But talk about the table players. I mean, look, you run table games. You know how the money works. You know how the card count attempts work.
Well, I've always said I haven't been on the floor that long, but it's just so easy to find a card counter. Like I told you, it's not somebody actually counting out loud or taking off his shoes and counting on his toes or keeping track of the count. So when he's supposed to go big, it's the way he bets.
What about a dice player?
It's simple with his money. Well, I mean, with the dice, I mean, there's really no advantage with the dice player. I mean, unless
you understand probability.
Yes,
right.
and then also, I mean, there's someone that messes with the dice. There's a way to shoot the dice. Mm-hmm. If you're not, I mean, there's certain rules. There's a basement and a ceiling where you shoot the dice, and there's people that try to slide the dice. I mean, there's guys that mess with the dice, and you can, and you can't see it unless you're, like one guy will throw one dice and slide the other dice. Like somehow.
Right. So now their probability has been cut in half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like he'll put the 4 up on the dice, which means that the threes on the table. Right. Because it's always 7.
It's always
right?
opposite. Right.
So he'll toss the one dice and he'll slide that so it stays a 4 the whole way. You got to have an eye
that gives you a 3-to-1 advantage. Or a 3-to-1 advantage over or throwing both dice up in the air, because the odds of a die coming up, you got 6-to-1. But remember, with half of your number already in, that means you chop the odds down into divided by 3. And that's what it comes down to.
And where can you chop the odds that much in Vegas like that? I mean, there's nowhere that you can just cut them in half. So that's why that's such a big deal.
Right.
And also you got to be careful of the person that acts like he doesn't know anything about the game. And come, hey, help me, teach me the game. And he's cheering at the wrong time, and he's with his friends, and he's acting like he doesn't know anything about the game. And he gets the dice, and he's like, oh, it's the first time I've ever shoot the dice. And he takes the dice, and he winds up, and he rolls them 2 inches.
Right. It's the short and suspicious roll.
Short and suspicious. Right. Technically, if the dice roll forward, if they roll forward 2 inches, it's a roll. But quickly you have to let the guy know. Listen, it has to hit the wall,
right,
or we're gonna pass the dice.
That's right.
And then the battle starts, and that guy isn't a rookie. That guy is that guy's been coming to the tables for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So look, we do place your bet for everything, whether it's the ponies, whether it's the crap table, the 21 table, even the roulette table. There's all kinds of things that you could bet on. Let's face it, you could bet on presidential races. You could bet on the failure of this particular incident to happen. There's all kinds of things you could bet on. Even down in Mexico at the Caliente Sportsbook, you could bet on everything they're all the call bets like you used to be able to do at Vegas World with Bob Stupak. You could do all that stuff at the Caliente down in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, how about the guys that were doing the call bets at the Bellagio for a couple of years? Though the dealers on the floor, they were all in on it. So they would have their friends come and they would throw chips in, and they would mumble the hop number. Mm-hmm. The 5-4. They would mumble the number, and then the dealer would call the number and say, oh, he called it. And so $2 million later, these idiots, they thought that they were going to get away with $2 million later.
Not in this town, buddy.
I mean, gaming caught them 2 months into the scam and just tracked them for the next 10 to 12 months.
Right.
It's just, you don't get away with anything.
No, not in this town.
No, you don't get away with anything.
Especially in this town.
Well, I mean, because nothing's changed since the movie Casino. They still track the money. That's all they track is the money. So that's what you're doing. This is a great conversation. It takes us all the way around back to where we started. That's what you're doing. You're tracking the money. And, it's funny because you can't teach someone this. I mean, someone's gonna have to follow you around for years, and even then they might not get it because you've been tracking money for decades.
That's right.
Right. So that's why this 42-4 is ridiculous. Even that's a high number
it's
for you.
It's a crazy number.
That's even with the way you
do it.
It's
an inconceivable number.
Yeah, and it's not something that's supposed to hold form. I mean, it's supposed to. I mean, there has to be an ebb and flow even in what you do, right?
I mean, for 2 years, I was 82.3 against the line.
Yep.
That's a huge number. It's a crazy number because the experts, the quote experts, are at 67% thereabouts. When you say.
Yes.
That's about right.
How much? 67 you said?
About 65, 67%.
Yes, because if you're pushing up to 70, you're doing very well.
Right. Those are the guys that 2/3 are picking them right. I mean, I've just for 2 years straight, before even doing this, I was at 82.3%. That's crazy. But remember, this is about watching money. It's not about watching anything else.
Well, and you can get hot even at what you do. Like you're smoking hot right now. I remember when we were doing this a couple of years ago, it wasn't a betting show. It wasn't a handicapping show. We were just talking sports and just having fun with it. But you were betting then. I mean, you were calling out games then, right? And you were losing more then.
That was back when Central Michigan or Western Michigan was good. Remember that?
Yes, I remember. Yeah. But you were still close to 80%. But I remember there were a couple of weeks where you're like, oh, I was way off on that game, missed that game. So right now you're just red hot and you're seeing games. I mean, you're already. You talked about. I mean, we'll get this in the third.
I think
in our
what
third
it is,
segment here. We'll get into the NFL a little bit.
I think what it is that I'm actually paying a little bit more attention to the numbers now because we have this show that's dedicated for the bettors out there. That's why I'm paying a little more attention. I'm not saying that's why I'm doing better, but I'm certainly watching things a lot closer. Back then, it was just very casual, and I was still hovering at 80.
Yeah, we're not talking about a game coming up. Which offensive lineman or which tight end is going to play from the injury. Who plays well on grass. I mean, there's going to be a home game in LA, and is it really going to be a home game, or are there going to be half the fans for the visiting team? You're not really talking about that kind of stuff. There are times that you do. I have seen you talk about that. It's a rare time.
Well, maybe 1 out of 15 games I'll mention it.
You watched Clemson. There really wasn't a number attached to Clemson. You just saw them as being the far better team for the last couple months of the season.
Yeah, whoever played them, they were going to get smoked. It didn't matter.
You had them smoking both Notre Dame and both Alabama. Now, there was no betting number. There was no following the money with that. So, I mean, and I've done that too. I mean,
I see the same thing with New Orleans.
Yeah, you see the same thing with New Orleans, and like I said, I wanted to push that back.
Yeah, we'll save that for the third, but it's the same idea.
Yeah,
right.
and that's one of the things that I do is I'll follow a team for a long period of time.
Yeah, you're good at this as well.
Very closely.
Right.
But I'm not specific like that, and there has to be something. Like I was on the Steelers at the beginning of the year with just all the infighting, which I felt like was a residue from last year. And it just felt like, to me, they would come apart at the seams at the most inopportune times of the season.
See, I didn't see the infighting early in the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay attention to it. I don't. So you have that angle on it.
Well, they kept talking down the Le'Veon Bell situation. They kept talking it down. And I was just like, that's a big deal. Like that's a way bigger deal than they're saying. First of all, it's a big deal for the poor guy to walk away from $14 million. Everyone acts like Le'Veon Bell is the villain in this. I don't feel like he's the villain. I feel like he got lowballed in a negotiation and he took a tactic, which you can understand. You can certainly understand in the business world. A negotiation is just a business maneuver. He maneuvered a certain way, and I felt like he got buried by it. Now it's yet to be determined whether it's a complete failure because
do you believe he buried himself?
Well, I believe he took the wrong. I believe he made the wrong play.
I think he and his agent collectively buried themselves.
I believe he made the wrong play, and I thought. I wish that he played and got the $14 million and then left on the free agent thing. But who knows what would have happened? Who knows if he would have been the one to get his leg bent backwards? Who knows if the Steelers might wanted to re-sign him again? Nobody knows how that would have gone.
Right. Well, you never know, folks. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes on Place Your Bet. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the gambling bit for the casinos, I like that because it adds a different flavor to it.
No, I know.
We need to add stuff like that.
Well, and I like how...
Mike, what do you think? Is that good content or what? Well, let's see what Mike says because he's watching us.
Paducah
Mike. Yeah, Mike's actually a Chicago guy. Just happens to be down in Kentucky.
Is he just working or he lives there now?
No, his mom. Yeah, he lives there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the only thing I know about Kentucky... Yes. The only thing I know about Kentucky is the TV show Justified a few years ago. It was on for 6 seasons, I think. You never saw Justified.
No,
It It was about federal marshals that took in
U.S. Marshal.
U.S. Marshal.
Oh, that's cool.
U.S. Marshal, but it was that guy Timothy Oliphant.
Who the hell's that?
He is. Good actor. So he was.
I don't know anybody.
I know. He was. He was a marshal in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
So a lot of it was him chasing down old moonshiners,
right,
and bootleggers. Like it was pretty cool.
Well,
you got to see Kentucky.
I've seen I know a little bit about what's happened in that on the federal side. My buddy was a federal agent for 25 years, and so I've heard the stories for sure. I heard a lot of stories. He was the guy that would go in and kick the door down and crack skulls.
That can't be a good job.
Oh, he loved it.
A federal agent, though, I mean, there's so much red tape.
That's my buddy Vito. 6'4", toothpick in the mouth. You don't know if he's a hitman or if he's a Fed.
So,
you don't even know.
An FBI agent or a different office?
Well, he worked for the Inspector General.
So the IG, I don't know what that.
Well, those guys. Let's see. The DOT answered to them, and Department of Transportation.
Okay.
So he did a lot of white collar crime from interstate transport and all kinds of neat stuff like that. But this guy, he also does weapons training, and now he's retired, but he still does all the special weapons training and whatnot for a lot of big companies. So he's still very active.
Where does he live?
He's still based out of Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, Vito.
Neighborhood?
Yeah, Vito. Yeah, he grew up a few blocks away from me. He was in studio here the day after Christmas. Yeah, I brought him and his son in. We were talking Michigan State football because his kid goes to Michigan State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come in a distant third behind Ohio State. No, well, they were beating Michigan for a while.
Well,
they were past Michigan.
Just saying, but because his kid used to play basketball in high school, he's not good enough to play, of course, college hoops for Tom Izzo. That's pretty good stuff. Izzo's pretty damn good.
Not many people are. Izzo's very good.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, that was terrible what happened to Michigan State though last year with that 30 seconds. That doctor raping all those girls for 25 years.
Oh, the whole Larry Nassar thing. What a mess.
It messed up the whole university.
Well, it wrecked everything. And Michigan State...
It sullied the coaches, Dave Tony, and...
Well, the problem is, the university tried to cover it up.
I know.
And they should have never done that. It's the same thing. Look, Urban Meyer tried to cover up for his assistants. It's the same crap. It makes the whole system... Right, it makes the whole system look bad.
Okay, 3.
All right, it's all you.
1.
Seven with average.
Las Vegas. Welcome back to Place Your Bet, everybody. This segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, and the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
So what do you think of our videos? Have you checked out the YouTube page for Place Your Bet?
I haven't this week because I've been checking out the podcasts because I've been working on that little project, right?
Right.
And I've been paying attention to the sound levels. At the first couple weeks of the show, it was like a guy having a heart attack on an EKG.
Well, that's because
everything was spiked.
Right, but remember, you were breathing into the mic instead of sideways on it. Right? Look, everybody's got to learn. And you were popping into the mic.
That's what I'm getting at.
You're not doing it now.
The last couple of weeks, we're like level.
Right.
So when you're talking, you're here, and then when I'm talking, I'm not up here.
Right. That's because you're popping into it like that. Exactly. Makes a big difference.
I always thought that you had to talk into the mic. I always thought that's what you did.
No,
well,
that's...
How do I know?
Well, now you know.
You got
this is Radio 101.
You got the 500 shows under your belt with that other show there. So tell me, again, I want to go back to this. How does John Wall sitting out for the rest of the year with the Washington Wizards help them? How do they beat Philadelphia by 17 points? Philadelphia's the second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Right.
I
Arguably.
Understand this.
Well, maybe the second, maybe third best.
Third best, yeah. You got Boston and you got Toronto right now.
Right.
So maybe the Sixers.
What about the Bucks?
Yeah, they're right up there. I know.
Right.
The
So
Bucks
I mean,
are very good.
there are a few good teams in the Eastern Conference, but go back to your
Well,
question.
I think the Eastern Conference is slowly passing the Western Conference. It's only taken 25 years.
Well, the NBA needs a little bit of balance. We have too much imbalance in the West. I want to see the East come back and actually be able to compete for real. You know what I mean?
It's happening now.
Yeah.
It's Golden.
I'll tell you what, that Milwaukee team, man, those guys can play defense.
Golden State has slipped. Golden State's slipping. Clearly, they're slipping. And
there's a little bit of dissension in the locker room there as well.
I told my son. I've been telling my son this for some time now. That in the NBA, the history is that dynasties don't last much longer than 4 or 5 years. You can look at all of them, and by the 5th or 6th year, they start getting injured. The Boston Celtics in the 80s. I mean, they limped to the finish line. The Lakers and the Celtics, they shared the 80s together.
Well, if the Bulls didn't have the hiccup with Jordan and his gambling crap, they could have won 8. No question.
Or at least 9, yes.
Yeah, 8 or 9 they could have won. I'm going to argue 8 for sure.
Yes.
Because the 2 that he was out when the Rockets were winning and the Knicks were representing the East, that wasn't very good. That was a very weak Knicks team, in my opinion.
That was a terrible Knicks team. I mean, they had
Or
Patrick
the
Ewing.
Patriots. I'm sorry, it was the Pacers and the Knicks in each one of those finals.
Yeah, I mean, those two teams had some great playoff series. Certainly a lot of drama, but
they didn't have the closer. They couldn't close the games out. They couldn't close series out.
No, but they each took the Bulls to 7 games during those playoffs. I mean, they gave the Bulls a lot of time, a lot of trouble.
Now, are you talking about in
with
90,
Michael?
Okay, that was 93, 92,
with
93.
Michael. I mean,
right.
That Reggie Miller played great against the Bulls, but there's not good enough. You know what's funny? Something about the Bulls, they won those 6 championships in the 90s. Not one of them went 7 games.
Nope.
5 of them were 6 games, and the first one was 4-1 over the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers won
I went to
game
2
1.
games in that series.
Yeah, that was in 91, right?
Yeah. I went to game 4 and 5.
The Lakers won game 1. Vlade Divac won game 1 for them. He made a couple big shots there. He was actually a good young center for that team.
You can call him Vlade.
Vlade, yeah, Vlade. I liked Vlade, though. Here we go. Let's get this up. I liked Vlade. Vlade was, I interviewed Vlade a bunch
I'm no
of
longer
times.
irritating. Remember the commercial? The shaving commercial? He did one for the razor blades.
I remember now.
I'm no longer irritating.
He was
Vlade.
He was like the comedian Yakov Smirnoff. He wasn't copying Yakov, but he was like America, what a country! Like his whole, he loved it.
Wasn't he from Serbia?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. When the country split, he lost some friends because that's what is it?
That was the old Yugoslavia.
The Yugoslavia national team was one of the best teams in the world. And when that civil war happened, it split the country into Croatia and Serbia. And some of his best friends he never spoke to again.
Right.
It was a terrible thing that happened to those guys.
You ever been over there?
I haven't been there. No, I've been on the other side of the Adriatic. I've never been to Serbia. We're supposed to go because the wife has some good friends that want us to come to one of her vacation spots.
Nice.
So yeah, we're supposed to go.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's good stuff.
No, but I've been to the Andes often though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Andes Delicatessen on 38th Street.
Yeah, I was like, what? Really? This guy over here.
Sal, I've been to like pretty much every corner of the world, but Sal's been to every not just the corner. You've been to
the octagon points.
Yeah, man, you've been everywhere, man. I mean, I've been to Alaska though. I did some shows in Anchorage. And believe it or not, Anchorage was a lot like Syracuse.
It might have been cold. Population's about the same.
It was the city looked.
City size is about the same.
It looked to me like Syracuse. There was a Starbucks in the middle of town by by the hotel I was staying at, and I was there in I think late November, early December, so it was light for maybe 2 hours a day.
Right.
And you couldn't even call it light. I mean,
but you had the northern lights too, though.
It was dusk. I didn't see any northern lights. I saw nothing.
Oh, you weren't there at the right time of year.
Yeah, it was dusk.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, so how does Washington win these games without one of their best players? I mean,
it's the sandbox thing.
Considered their best player.
Right, but it's the sandbox thing. Remember you talked about it the other day, and I said, look, you're the guy that takes the ball home. I don't want to play this game. You're not playing by my rules. I'm going home. Maybe he's really good. But maybe at the same time, the team says,
I don't think he's a sandbox guy, though. I don't think he doesn't shoot too much.
Well, you don't really play ball in a sandbox anyway.
No, you don't.
Right.
But this is the guy that shoots too much. I mean, now you watch the Rockets lose at home to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
today,
I'm watching
right?
Harden throw 30 shots
30
up.
shots.
He's hit, I think, 18 of them.
No, he made 13 out of 30.
13 out of 30. Yeah, he scored a bunch of points. But the problem is,
42 points.
This guy, all he would do, it was You know how they say when you're playing basketball, if you throw this to a ball hog, then on the court they call it a black hole because you never see the ball again,
or the abyss,
whatever.
Yeah.
The point is, every time Harden would get the ball, nobody else would see the ball. That's the end of it. I did see one assist late in the game, but outside of that, it was Harden, and that's it.
Well, he's usually
nothing else.
He's usually a good assist guy. Right? He only had 6 assists, but the biggest stat that he had tonight was 9 turnovers.
Yeah.
So he had a horrible assist-to-turnover ratio, and that's probably why they lost the game.
But he also played a very stingy defense too with Milwaukee.
Harden? Was he wearing someone else's uniform?
I don't know. I think he was wearing green today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Milwaukee...
No, he wasn't playing. No, I'm saying he was playing against a very stingy defense.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say Harden doesn't play defense.
No, hell no.
He doesn't play. There's a guy on Milwaukee, Brogdon. I think it's Malcolm Brogdon. He was a second-round draft choice out of the University of Virginia, and he's one of those guys where he's been a starter his whole career in the NBA. He was much better than people thought. Even in the NBA, they get it wrong. They get it wrong. They draft Lonzo Ball number 2. They draft, that guy that Cleveland drafted.
Oh, come on. Look at Sam Bowie went before Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, my God, do they get it wrong?
Do we have a laugh track for that?
Do they get it wrong?
You're killing me here.
They get it wrong.
That's the Kung Fu wrong sound drop effect. There it is. I knew it was in there somewhere.
Yeah, there it is.
All right.
Brook Lopez resurfaced in Milwaukee. I didn't know that's where Brook Lopez went.
Yeah, he actually played well today.
He was on the Lakers last year. Brook Lopez is a good guy.
He's a big body. He's hard to move.
He's hard to move, but he doesn't do much. He scores 7 points.
He's got a vertical like Luke Longley. It's a 2-inch vertical.
The thing is, he's a 7-foot center. He played 33 minutes. He got 3 rebounds. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could lay on the floor and 3 rebounds like fall on your stomach.
Right. He's just a big oaf.
Yeah. Good guy though. I like Lopez. Him and Robin, they're twins. They're twins,
so,
right?
Yeah.
They're twins.
Yeah, they don't cause any trouble. They just go about their business. And I like that.
Let me tell you something. If you get into the NBA and you don't cause any trouble, 15 years later you come out about $150 million richer. It's not hard.
Yeah, nowadays you're right.
It's not hard. I mean, let's get Rick Barry on and see what he thinks of that.
Oh, don't even go there with Rick. Rick
doesn't like that.
He doesn't like it because he was underpaid when he played.
He's right.
He's absolutely right.
That's why he went to the ABA in the early 70s.
That's
because
right.
He wasn't making enough money in the NBA. You know what? I think Rick Barry had some definite foreshadow. He knew which way the league was going.
I mean, he was
getting enough money even back then.
He had a crystal ball back in the day.
Yeah,
that
guy.
He, like you said before, he was Larry Bird before Larry Bird was Larry Bird.
I just popped. People don't realize that Rick Barry did everything on a basketball court. He wasn't. Larry Bird was 6'9". Barry was like maybe 6'7".
Yeah.
But still, he did everything on a basketball court, and he was more athletic than Larry Bird. Even though Larry Bird was way more athletic than he let on. Larry Bird loved playing I'm the slow white guy that can't jump. He loved playing that, and if you watch tape of him, you'll see otherwise. There's many an occasion that Larry Bird was jumping higher than a lot of those guys. He loved playing the hick from French lick.
Right.
He played it to perfection. But Rick Barry was a great athlete. I think Larry Bird was a better athlete than Magic Johnson. And Magic Johnson was a fair athlete himself.
Yeah.
Both of those guys weren't high flyers.
But Magic had eyes in the back of his head. Talk about court vision. That guy was insane.
He did something with the basketball when he was on a fast break. First of all, he was way faster with the ball than without the ball.
Right.
He was just it's just amazing. Magic was one of my favorite players ever to watch.
I think he's one of everybody's favorite players for sure.
Yes. I don't know about a team president yet.
No, I don't like. Listen, I loved Magic on the court. Off the court, I can't stand him.
I know, but
I think he meddles with a bunch of stuff.
But he's super successful off the court.
Okay, but he's successful in business things.
Yes.
We talked about this before. He surrounded himself with some good guys. But I think when it comes to making choices for baseball or basketball teams, Magic ought to let somebody else do that for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I'm looking at my thing because I just got the set list. I'm doing a show tonight, so I got the headline spot at the Eclipse.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna hit the ground running.
For all those people right here in Vegas, where's the Eclipse?
It's in downtown Las Vegas on 4th Street, the Eclipse Theater. Mm-hmm. It's a completely refurbished theater. It's a beautiful show there, and I'm just headlining.
It's Fremont Street East.
Yeah,
right. That's a real trendy area.
Yeah, it's they will trendily pick your pocket there. But I'm going to I'm just getting some stuff ready for that the show that I'm working at Nellis Air Force Base on Super Bowl weekend.
Okay.
In a few weeks, I'm going to be entertaining the troops. So
that's exciting.
I got to go work on some new material. I'm gonna work on all of my political material, bring out all the stuff on the Democrats and the Republicans.
And then there were crickets.
Yeah, I don't do any observation. I leave that to Bill Maher. He does it better than all of us.
Yeah,
I don't do any of that.
So what time are you on tonight?
I'm on as soon as I'm on 9:15, so I'm going to hit the ground running.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, you're going to be late, but that's okay.
No, it's all right.
You got somebody warming up?
Well, no, there's 5 people in front of me. So yeah, the show starts at 8:30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I can be on at 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
Yeah, I'm good.
You already know your material
26,
anyway.
36. Yeah, no, I got my set list already beat out.
Do you have a website for everybody to follow you at?
Yeah, TommyTLive.com. And then you can also find me. The best resume that I have online right now is the PlaceYourBet.Vegas site. That's the best.
Right.
And then I got that new show in development, Old Men in Sweats, which we got to talk to you about a segment for you in that.
All right.
You're a little younger than us, but
you're
might
telling
play.
me I'm old?
Listen. I'm just trying to take out all the naysayers. You can't say no to the show. You can't say we're too old. Of course, it's called Old Men in Sweats.
Right. I got a pair of sweats.
But you got more than a pair of sweats. But how do you look in an Adidas tracksuit?
I don't know. I've never owned one.
Okay, we'll get you an Adidas tracksuit.
Never had one.
We'll get you.
I don't know. I wear Vans. Look at these Vans. I got the best Vans ever right here.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. We're not sponsored by anyone just yet, so it doesn't have
to have racing stripes on my shoes.
Listen, we want to wear a Puma tracksuit. Wear a Puma tracksuit.
I don't have one. Don't you have one in a wardrobe?
Yeah, we'll get you one.
Okay.
Well, don't worry. We'll put you. You're extra large, right?
Extra large.
Yeah, you're extra large or large.
Sure, it's XL.
That's what I said.
The pants? I don't know.
Extra large.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, who's looking at your pants?
I don't know. Well, hopefully you're not.
I'm
not. Freak.
Did the Jordan shirt fit? I got you an extra large Jordan shirt.
That works.
Right?
That works.
Oh, I got you a triple XL headband though.
I know. I've got a giant coconut. I can't help it. Big cranium, big thoughts.
Yeah. There was a kid in my neighborhood. I used to always tease him. He had the biggest hat ever on baseball team, right? And I used to always say, "Man, you got a big head with nothing in it." Man,
what's your hat size?
My hat size is 7 1/4.
That's me. 7 1/4.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. 7
that's
1/4,
not that
maybe,
big.
7 1/4, 7 3/8.
Yeah, me too.
It used to be 7 1/8, and I don't know what it is. Maybe when I let my hair grow out, the hat size gets bigger.
Well, 7 1/4, 7 3/8, it varies with me too, but I like it loose, so I try to. I don't like a tight hat.
Yeah, the 7 1/2 is too big.
Okay.
Then you tuck your ears in.
Well, that's not a big dome.
No, but it just looks that way. Giant cranium, I guess. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Let me finish. The kid in my neighborhood who had a big, gigantic head, and they had to get a special hat for him for Little League Baseball, I used to tease him all the time and say, you got a big head with nothing in it. You got a big head with nothing in it. Man, that kid picked me up and threw me in the river. Threw me off the bank in the river, man. He did not
back in the generation before us, my mother used to call people bucket heads when they had a giant cranium.
Buckethead.
Yeah, call them a buckethead.
Your mom sounds like
she was tough.
She was
tough.
Than tough.
She'd take crap from anybody.
Really?
Yeah, she'd look at you. She don't like you. She'd punch you right in the mouth.
No.
Oh, yeah.
She'd talk to you first before she.
No. She swung and then asked questions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the cops. They shoot then ask questions. It's the same thing.
Not anymore.
Well, it depends on where you're at.
They're a little more reserved.
I don't know.
I'm
willing to take that bet.
I haven't been in Vegas a very long time. You've been here longer than me. Are there a lot of cops in this town, or is it just me? Every time I drive down the road, there's 10 cops.
There's a lot of cops.
There's a lot of cops. I'm not complaining.
Man. No, this is Vegas. Of course there's a lot of
cops.
Who
are they arresting? They're arresting us.
They're not arresting us. They're waiting for the morons to start having some drinks and then get behind the wheel. They're waiting for them.
Okay. Well, they do their job. They're all over
Our cops are pretty good here in town.
Yeah. There's a couple of them, believe it or not. There's more than a couple of them that are regulars in my yoga and Pilates classes. And let me tell you something. These guys, okay, can you keep a straight face for 30 seconds? These guys are big guys. I mean, there's like some big cops in these yoga classes, and they work it hard. I mean, today I was in class. I did the level 2 express class. Okay. How can I bring up yoga if you laugh every time?
I'm listening.
You're laughing. Quit laughing.
Interrupting.
Keep a straight face.
All right.
There's a lot of cops that take those yoga classes and the boot camps. Actually, more the boot camps than the yoga classes. The kettlebell boot camps. Mm-hmm. They're in there.
I'm familiar with kettlebell.
So I know a couple guys. Yeah, I know you're familiar with kettlebell. You bounced a couple off some people's heads.
Hey, it is what it is. All right, folks, we're going to be back here in just a couple of minutes. Short break. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on Place Your Bets.
I'm not kidding. There's a lot of cops in those classes.
I know.
I mean, I got a couple buddies there because of it, right?
Yeah.
One guy's looks like an ex-football player. He's like 6'4", 280 pounds.
Right.
And he can do everything. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, it's the hot thing nowadays. So
yeah, no pun intended, right?
Pretty soon, maybe, I don't know, it's going to be pole dancing for everybody.
for men and women.
I don't think I could do pole dancing, buddy.
I don't know. It takes a lot of strength to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just the whole idea of me being on a pole. I can't do that.
We know Danica Patrick has won the pole position twice.
You said that with a straight face.
But it's true.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I was
being in pole position twice. Is she even cute? I don't even know.
Yeah.
She's cute. I mean, all I ever do is see her in the onesie. You can't even tell.
Oh no, she looks good. She looks good.
We're getting through this with no problem today.
Oh, this is easy stuff. Easy stuff. Hey, Mike. Hope you're enjoying today's show.
Okay, we got the last. Okay, let's do 45 seconds, then we're back on.
Yeah.
1948, so we're perfect.
Yeah, okay. Everything's right. I had Steve check out the board beforehand. Our phones are down. Tomorrow they should be working. And
yeah, because Luther and Jamil have been trying to call, but they can't get through.
All right. Okay, well, tomorrow we may have somebody call in.
Diaz Mackey. Diaz Mackey's got a great Trump joke. He says, man, Diaz Mackey's this black guy. He's got his tongue is, you got me?
Right. I'll put it down. What do you got? Well, the thing's always running. Yeah, I'll have it looking at me.
I love Diaz. He's got this great joke. He says, man, he says, Trump is our only president where if you tweet him in the middle of the night, he'll tweet you back.
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that. At least the guy pays attention. You hit that, would you? There we go. All right.
I forget I'm on fucking 24 hours a day.
Don't worry about it. All right. I know you're always on in here. So never watch what you say.
We gotta find a segment for you for this because the old men in sweats. We're shooting a pilot. We're shooting a couple sizzle reels in the next coming couple months.
Okay.
So we gotta find a segment for you. Something that we can do.
Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Yeah. Well, you need a bookie.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready to go.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Place Your Bet. I'm Sal the Bookmaker. This segment is brought to you by Kelly Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Kelly Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic every day and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Kelly Vegas right now at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. And tell them Sal the Bookmaker sent you. You can also visit them at CaliVegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com.
Somebody must have given you a gong of approval. That wasn't me.
Yeah. That was the Gong Show gong, if I'm not mistaken.
That wasn't me. So, listen, when do we approach my yoga studio about sponsoring this show?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now. Here's what you do. You talk about them right now, and then you say, look, I've got a clip for you.
Okay.
And here's a clip. And look, I've already given you a plug, and now this could be a regular thing. So guess what? You could be a sponsor of Place Your Bet. Just like everybody watching, you got a business. If you want to sponsor the show, guess what? We're on Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. right here in Las Vegas. We're also on Facebook Live every day. And our YouTube following is really growing. Our Facebook followers now, we're over 600 people that follow the show, which is nice. That's quite
fantastic.
a few.
In 2 months, 2 months
yeah,
plus.
Basically 2 months. That's a lot.
Yeah, 2 months basically, right?
Yeah. So listen, the fact is we got a lot of ears and a lot of eyeballs.
Okay, so let me give a little build-up of this yoga studio. So I've been doing yoga now for 25 years. I started in 1993 in Santa Monica in Venice, which was basically the epicenter in this country of this yoga craze. I don't even know how I got in it. I got dragged in it by hot girls. Just come to
dragged in it by hot girls.
Hot chicks. I mean, listen, come to this class with me, come to this class with me. And I'm telling you, when I first started doing it, I couldn't even do.
Now you have Mindy.
I couldn't even do a child pose. No, she's just a teacher. No, I just bounce around to different teachers. But actually the teacher that I go to the most, the yoga instructor that I go to the most is this old guy named Greg, who's a fantastic yogi.
What does Mindy look like?
She's just a cute Asian, but what does that got to do with them sponsoring us?
I don't know, because you've mentioned her a couple of times.
She's
really
teacher.
Good. She's really good at what she does.
What she look like? She's a cute yoga teacher. I don't know. You're killing me, Whitey.
I'm just asking you, man. I'm just asking you.
So I've been doing this thing for 25 years. I come to Vegas and I'm like, man, this is going to be tough. I'm going to probably have to do it online. You know, I got a bunch of classes that I get
yoga online.
No, there's a bunch of yoga sites that you can go online. You just pull up a class and you do it in your living room.
Oh, it's like that. What's that bike? The Peloton?
Yeah, the Peloton. Yeah, you could do everything online.
Yeah, my sister uses that.
I mean, the wife has a workout that she does in the living room every day. There's a million workouts online. It's easy to do.
Well, if you've got an 80-inch screen, then you actually feel like you're in the room with them.
Yeah, I mean, with the yoga thing, it's just I just pull the laptop up, just put it anywhere.
Isn't
and
your
just
whole
do it.
wall a TV?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a pretty big TV, but I don't do it. I don't do the yoga like that. I thought I was going to have to do it online. I thought I'm in Vegas.
It's better
I'm not going to find, I was thinking I'm not going to find the studios that I came from where I learned. In LA, there's a dozen of them all within 10 blocks, and you could just go to different ones.
Right.
There's classes all day long. So sure enough, I started in Vegas hot, no bueno. I moved to Body Heat, just okay, and then I find this True Fusion.
People don't know what that means. The average listener does not know. You say hot, medium, or Body Heat, and True Fusion. What does all this stuff mean? It sounds like a restaurant.
Names of studios.
Okay.
Vegas Hot, then Body Heat. Those are names of studios. Now I go to True Fusion. True Fusion, Yoga, and Pilates.
Okay.
Now there's three of them.
Why do you go there?
First of all, it's the best studio in town.
Why is it the best?
Well, they have first of all, they have a variety of classes. They have all different kinds of classes. So there's something for every level. They have yin classes, which are slower, and for older people, they have all the vinyasa flow class, the signature series classes.
What are these things? People don't know. The average listener doesn't know what vinyasa and whatever.
I'm just letting you know that there's a bunch of different varieties. I can't really explain a vinyasa flow class. It's like a yoga class where you never stop moving. You're constantly doing warrior poses, and you're going down and you're doing chaturangas, which basically you're pumping a bunch of push-ups, and then you're coming back and you're doing warrior poses, and you're doing chair. You're doing all kinds of poses. You never stop moving.
But if you're posing, that means you've stopped moving.
Well, no, the poses, you don't hold the poses for long. The yin, you'll hold the pose for a minute or two.
Okay.
Which is just
I'm
as hard.
just asking because I don't know.
Which is just as hard. Yeah, you hold a warrior pose for 2 or 3 minutes, and your entire body's shaking. I mean, or hold a plank pose.
What is a warrior pose? For everybody watching on Facebook Live, show everybody what a warrior pose is.
Show everybody you don't know what a warrior pose is?
Let's see.
Okay, so
here he goes, folks.
Here's one warrior
Tommy's
pose.
getting out of the chair, going over to an area where there's a little bit more room. No, go over there.
Here's a warrior pose.
Go over there. Go over there because you can't see over there. Go over there so people can see. Tommy's going into the corner now, and all we're going to do is we're going to put a dunce cap on his head. Go ahead, take the headphones off. It's okay. Let's see what that is. All right, so this is a warrior pose. He looks like he's kind of on a surfboard, but not.
And then this is crescent pose.
All right, so now this is Tommy doing yoga. Got it?
And this is half moon pose.
This is dude, the camera, I can't really zoom out. All right, all right, that's half moon. And let me show you the real moon. Okay. All right. Well, why are we doing this? Well, I don't know. Why not, right? We can talk about anything that we want to. I mean, we're giving you winners left and right. So guess what? Now you got to deal with a little bit of yoga for 2 minutes. Get over it. Go ahead.
Look, I just tried to give a rundown of the class, but Sal took it on a completely different direction. So can you please get back to some football? We're in the third segment.
You were plugging your yoga studio.
I know, but you didn't let me plug it. You took it in a different direction. I was trying to tell you the different classes. I was trying to tell you the variety. There's a cycling class. There's boot camps up the yin yang. You don't just do yoga. You do Pilates. You do boot camps. You do kettlebell boot camps. You do all kinds of things.
But you said there was a yin class. You set up the yin yang.
I was just running down the different classes. You can't do it with a serious eye, so it's okay.
Sure, I can.
You cannot.
I'm asking you questions. I've interviewed a lot of people. You know that.
Yes, you can.
So when I ask you the question, I'm just trying to get some good information because I don't know. I don't do yoga. I eat yogurt.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. You can't do it without.
Well, sure I am.
The yogurt. Hey, did you see the Jets sign? They hired Adam Gase, the head coach.
Well, that was the one job. That was the one job that McCarthy wanted.
Yeah, now he claims he doesn't want a job until 2020.
Whatever.
Yeah. He wanted that job, right?
Yeah. Loser.
This is the first head coach that the Jets have hired with experience since Parcells. I didn't know that every coach they've hired since 1997 was a first-time coach. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan, this Bulls. Who did they hire? Oh, they hired Mangini. So Adam Gase, how did Adam Gase get another job so quickly? Did he do a good job at Miami that I'm unaware of?
It wasn't a bad job. And he's got a pretty good history. I mean, look back at his history, and he's done a pretty good job overall.
He got a playoff win out of Tim Tebow.
Right, which is very hard to do because Tebow wasn't really, he wasn't a bad talent. He didn't have NFL speed. His game didn't have NFL speed.
You mean it was a slow, long delivery?
Yeah. And I think that was his biggest problem.
He did throw that one pass to Demaryius Thomas to win the playoff game against the Steelers,
But
though,
it was
right?
to Demaryius Thomas, though. I mean, the guy's got hands like glue. He's incredible.
Yeah, well, his hands turned to stone in the last few years.
Well, never mind that.
He bats the passes down
Never
like he's
mind
wearing
that.
cinder blocks.
Okay, but who was his quarterback?
Who?
Who was his quarterback?
It was Case Keenum and
There it is. There's your problem.
And the other guy, the guy from
the broken Coke machine.
The guy from Northwestern, Trevor Simeon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who was his quarterback?
Well, that's why he was dropping their passes.
Case Keenum, what a joke. He kind of reminds me of Kirk Cousins, the $84 million mistake.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He had a good year with Minnesota, and then he didn't. I mean, I don't understand these quarterbacks. I don't think Kirk Cousins was the reason Minnesota didn't make the playoffs this year. I think it was their defense more than him.
Yeah, I would say it was a combination of both, but Cousins underperformed.
Yeah,
Cousins underperformed.
No, he's not.
What a joke. And Keenum's a joke over there. And now everyone will call him Fangio, but it's Fagno. That's the real way to say his name.
You don't say the G.
Right. It's the N and the G as a Nia sound.
Yeah,
the NY sound.
Well, my last name is Tellerino, but it was originally Tellerini with a G.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, the G is silent.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So it's Fagno.
Yeah, it's really Fagno.
But can we call him Fangio?
You can.
Can we call him Fungi?
You can. Whatever you want, buddy.
Hey,
Today's your day.
listen,
You're going on stage in a half an hour, so you better be ready.
I wanted to ask you about the disparity in age with some of these jobs. I mean, Fangio is a 60-year-old rookie head coach, and Cliff Kingsbury is he's 39 now. He's a 39-year-old rookie head coach. And then there's another young coach. Oh, LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, Guy's cousin.
Right.
His
nephew.
He's a 30. Yeah, his
grandson.
He's a 39-year-old rookie head coach,
Right.
which I found out that Aaron Rodgers called him a couple days before he was offered the job. So I was going to ask you a couple things. First of all, how do you hire? You hire the old guy Fangio, then you hire the old guy Arians, and then you hire the two young guys. So there's really no rhyme or reason. It's just what these owners feel, right? It's just there's no it's a young trend or it's an old trend. It's just what they feel.
Well, I think the teams that are trying to make an impact are following the trendy hires, but I think the teams that know where they want to be are hiring the older guys. And I'm going to give you an example. The best signing and the best hire, in my opinion, has been by the Buccaneers with Arians and with Todd Bowles.
Okay. Yeah, that
is a tremendous hire for the Bucs.
What about Elway's hire with this guy Fangio? We don't really know a lot about him. He's just done a good job with the Bears defense.
He did a good job. He did a good job with the 49ers defense.
Okay.
He did a good job with the Baltimore Ravens defense as well. But remember, you've got Kubiak that's already in place. The problem is this. He's not bringing his own staff. Now he's got a staffer that has already basically been brought in by John Elway. And I think that is a problem.
But Kubiak is only going to be a consultant. He's not going to be...
Oh, no, he's going to be offensive coordinator.
They're going to bring him back?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. And
he's
the reason...
well-respected offensive coordinator.
Right. And remember I had told you that Munchak was going to be the guy. Well, what happened was the guy that I knew in the Broncos organization, they were told don't say anything to anybody, especially with Chicago ties being me, right? Because they knew I was going to leak it back to the media back in Chicago. And what ended up happening...
But don't they know that you're Italian? You don't...
Yeah, exactly. I don't know nothing. But anyway, the fact is he went back to Chicago so quickly right after the meeting, so he basically cleared his office out. And then as soon as he was basically back in Colorado or out of the building there in Chicagoland, that's when the announcement happened.
Okay, did he blow them away? Is he a charismatic guy? I don't know the guy.
He's a charismatic guy, but I think what it was is they were looking for the defense to reemerge because they've got some good stars on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, older though.
They do.
Aging.
I think offensively they're still a mess.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the downfall of the team.
Yeah, they got problems. I mean, it's not a great job. Is it a great job? Yes or no? I don't think it's a great job. I don't think they're right around the corner from being an excellent team.
No,
again.
I think Vic should stay with the Bears.
Yeah.
And not because I'm a Bears guy. I believe that he should have because they were very close. You know what I'm saying?
Taking the next step where he could have been like a Buddy Ryan-esque type of personality there.
Right, but I think he was also looking for a shot, too, and he was looking for a payday.
Yeah.
Because he had been an assistant for a lot of years, right?
Yeah, and so then you got these young guys. You got LaFleur. You got.
I don't like those.
Kingsbury.
I don't like these moves with the young guys at all.
I don't like these guys either. I don't.
No.
You know what they're doing with Adam Gase to the Jets. Adam Gase to the Jets, And each guy that they drafted last year, each quarterback, Rosen and Darnold, and then who's the other young guy that's they're protecting? There's the third
We
young
still
guy.
got
Freddie Kitchens got the job. Freddie Kitchens got the job at
in
Cleveland
Cleveland,
today, too.
right?
Now, I mean, Jesus, he was an offensive coordinator for 8 months, or not even 8 games.
But remember, okay, so the argument goes in Cleveland is that, look, this guy, his team won when he was there, and they beat some pretty good teams as well.
Yeah.
So Cleveland's going in the right direction, and I'm okay with that because at least they got a guy from within, and they said, you know what, let's give this guy a shot. And here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and transition just for a hot second. I'm going to go from football to hockey. And we're going to take a look real quick at the Chicago Blackhawks. Why are we going to do this? Because we think about coaching issues.
Okay.
All right. So the Blackhawks fire the great coach and really the general.
Quenneville.
Right. And general manager should have been fired, which is Stan Bowman. But Stan Bowman's not going to get fired. So they took it out on this coach, and the coach was good. The problem is the GM wasn't turning the roster over, which is the problem that Elway has. Elway's not turning the roster over. So the Blackhawks put in the kid from the farm system to run the team this year, but next year they'll have a big signing. And I think you take a team, I don't know, you take a team like Arizona, for example. He's going to have 1 year to do something magical with Rosen. Otherwise, he's going to be a 1 year fire as well.
I don't think they can fire 2 coaches
Sure they
1
can.
year in a row.
It's Arizona. They don't give a damn.
Steve Keim's going to get fired.
Yeah, they don't give a damn. Arizona will do it. But I wanted to go back to the hockey discussion for a second because those bridge coaches or managers, that's what you see when a team is in transition. And right now, there's no question that the Arizona Cardinals are in transition, and I would argue that there are 4 or 5 other teams in transition. We don't even know what's going on with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, you know what? We don't care either because they're a joke.
They may be a joke, but they still have some quality players on the team.
Yeah,
and they're
I
not
guess.
that bad of a team. They really aren't. They just don't have any locker room leadership and no leadership on the sidelines.
So they need a strong personality as a coach, but the problem is they normally don't pay for that, and they normally don't attract that. Marvin Lewis was
Marvin had 17 years there.
Yeah,
That's a lot of years,
playoff
man.
appearances. But our esteemed colleague Stevie Slapshot, what did he call him? A nothing burger. Like, he used the term a nothing
Right.
burger, and I think that's doesn't that apply for Marvin Lewis? Didn't he seem like a nothing burger during his 17 years?
Yeah.
Horrible job.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I like to say, I'm an underdog guy. I'd like for Cincinnati to rise up like Cleveland, rise up and let's go. Come on, show up to the party. I like it when these teams
We
come
like
up.
a little parody in the divisions instead of the same crap over and over.
Yeah, because I get tired of the Steelers BS drama too. It's enough with this
I'm waiting
group.
for the Jets to start taking control of that division over there. I'd like to see the Jets starting to do something. I'd like to see the Bills back in there.
It's going to happen. The Jets and the Bills will be back because, of course, Brady can't play forever.
Right.
Belichick can't coach forever. So there's going to be a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
It's very rare when you go from a Belichick who was like a Tom Landry for 28 years with the Cowboys, you go from one of those guys to another great coach. It's rare.
Right.
It doesn't always happen that way.
I say when Brady retires, Belichick retires.
Yeah, I say so too. I mean,
That makes all the sense in the world.
Or does Belichick let Brady go and say, okay, now I'm going to prove I can do it again?
No.
He doesn't do that.
Why would he?
He's got the kind
You
of
go
ego.
out on top. Now you go out on top.
Okay, you would go on top, but I'm saying Belichick may not do that. It's not
He
a
may
crazy.
not. I don't know.
He may not do that.
We have 1 minute left.
Yeah, we have 1:30. Belichick may not do that. Belichick may want to prove another point. That's why I'm shocked that they got rid of Garoppolo. I thought that Belichick would try to force Brady out and say, let me get another quarterback. I'm going to try to do it again.
Right. I don't know, man.
I don't know. But all these coaching hires, you like Bruce Arians the best.
Oh, easily the
and
best.
you like LaFleur and Kingsbury the worst.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
I think Kingsbury is the worst one out of all of them. And that was
Yeah.
an enormous mistake. You got a guy that has a substandard record on the previous level. Now you
35
bring him
and
up.
40.
Yeah, and you bring him up now to the big show. That's not a good move. Maybe he's a quarterback's coach, but that's about it.
Yeah, not even an offensive coordinator. I would have thought that someone like Fangio could have used him as an offensive coordinator at Denver, something like that. Not the head guy. I just don't see that happening. But
Yeah, I don't know. But look at it this way. We could bicker on this for another, 3 or 4 hours. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Guess what? We're out of time, and you got a show to do.
In our last 30 seconds, if the Cowboys lose this week, is there one more coaching job open? Does Jason Garrett
No.
get fired?
No.
No, he's safe.
No, that means Jerry Jones has to fire himself because that's his puppet.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to be back tomorrow right here on the same channel at the same time. Don't go anywhere. We will see you then. So long, everyone, from Place Your Bets.
10 seconds.
Boom.
Perfect.
And